So dialogue, debate, apologetics, they're helpful, but it's all with the aim of bringing people to hear the gospel and presenting Christ to people in that way. So we've been to Norway, but last year, for those of you who were at Spain, you might remember back to the last Sunday gathering that we had in the evening, and we all prayed for Alexander Fink, because Alex was rushing off to Georgia, literally that evening, to speak at an events week out there. And so I thought, well, let's get Alex up at the first meeting of this year's Foyer and ask him how it went. Because actually, I heard that you had to employ your Indiana Jones skills in this particular week.
It's a bit like judgment here. First you are sent out and then you are evaluated and need to give a report about it. But thank you very much. It was so encouraging. Are you alone? No, you're not alone. Maybe you can show the next picture. I first enjoyed the hospitality of the Georgians, and I found out that the couple Lexo and Larissa were two people whom we were praying for in our students group in the 90s, and now they lead the group in Georgia in Kutaisi, which was just so encouraging to see that. And it's a very hard place. They are not allowed at the universities to do something officially, not at the state universities, and they had no connections to the private university, and so they arranged a lecture at the private university, mainly medical students. And they were a bit skeptical, but they said, yeah, let's try it. And so we did that. So in the night, they brought me back to the hotel. Next morning, I wanted to get up. So are we alone? No, we are not alone. Is it hard? Yes, it's hard. Next picture, please. This was the first morning. I got up, everything was dark, everything was silent, no light was working. I was going down and thinking, okay, let's not have a shower, but just go for breakfast. And I stepped into water, cold, dark water, and no one was there. It was flooded with water. So is there someone who can help me here? And finally someone came who had no idea how to speak English. And he took me and brought me to first floor and showed me this way. Something like this way in Georgia, probably. So there was a ladder reaching from first floor to ground floor. Then I thought, okay, first I need to get my stuff. No breakfast, okay, that's fine. Paul did that too, didn't he? And so I went back and the guy was gone again. So I was alone with that ladder. And fortunately, I'm a physicist. So first I thought, let's try the stability of the ladder. And I moved the ladder a bit and I realized, oh, it's slipping. So I thought, I can't go down there. If it's slipping with my hands, it will slipping with my feet and my body as well. So I called my friends. They went down to the ladder, and then it was stable and I could go down. And then it was time to go to the university, private university. Next picture. So this is Tamrico on the right-hand side. She's a staff worker in Georgia. Lexo on the left-hand side, and Lexo's wife, Larissa. She's not a staff worker, but is doing most of the jobs in Kutaisi, I think. Someone here from Georgia, by the way.
They're coming tonight.
Tonight, okay.
Late flights.
Yeah, and so this is the private university. They have a better reputation than the official universities. And about 30 people came, among them 3 professors. And I talked about, can a scientist believe in God? And it really created a very good atmosphere. And they said, you should come again. We should have another lecture. And so it opened a new door for a group that had no access to university. But they enjoyed the talk and good questions were asked about who is God, how can we know about God, and so on. In the evening, we had another lecture to Indian medical students, like in Bosnia-Herzegovina. They come to Europe in the moment in large groups. In Georgia, they even bought an student residence, bought by an Indian investor, and only Indian medical students live there. And so next picture. Fortunately, I have dealt a bit with Gandhi in my life, and so I gave a talk. This is just sightseeing. Next picture, sorry. This is Europe from a Georgian point of view. Europe is Russia somehow, I don't know. And next picture. So this is the room. A lot of it was gold covered and so on, so really noble. And the room was full in the end of the evening. This was before the talk started. And I talked about, is Gandhi in heaven? Isn't it enough to be a good person? And so I challenged them with some Gandhi quotes. Gandhi, for example, said, I will tell my Hindu brothers and sisters that their faith is incomplete as long as they have not read the New Testament. So that's a good way to invite people to read the Bible. And so as a follow-up, they started a Bible study group, and a few people came, and at least one of them was so curious. Next picture, please. He said, how can I know more about your knowledge about God. It's so fascinating. I want to know more. And he is the most keen Bible study participator now in Georgia, in Kutaisi. So that was in Kutaisi. And then I traveled the next day to Tbilisi, the capital city. And there, a group from Campus Crusades. Yes, we can even work across the borders of our organization. A team from Campus Crusades had invited me to give a lecture at the private university for agriculture and engineering there, which also has a very good reputation. And it was the first time. And they had reserved a seminar room with 30 places on Homo Deus, Will AI Outgrow Humanity? And 15 minutes before the talk started, people were crowding outside the seminar room. So they said, we need to leave. We need to find a larger theater. So we went to the Audimax. Yeah, next picture, please. The Audimax. This is before the talk started, and people were about 110 people came. And 20 people after that were there asking questions, wanting to connect, and so on. And the Campus Crusades group wants to continue to work there. With the people to start a Bible study group and investigate. So the good chance is really, if you have a student group and no access to university or have difficulties, invite an academic, organize a lecture on a very relevant topic that is interesting for people, and that could open doors. And then, of course, it's your responsibility to organize follow-up. So that the people who are interested, like we have heard about it, yes, some mocked, some wanted to know more, and others became believers, offer something for those who are interested so that they could continue to investigate and find out about Jesus. So yeah, we are not alone, and sometimes it's hard, but God has given you the gifts, for me the letter and the physics, for you something else, in order to overcome the hardships.
Brilliant. Thank you, Alex.